Yeah.
The so-called Negro community has shocked the white man by resisting all efforts to divide us. I think that you and I should continue to shock him by staying and working together in unity, despite religious, political, economic, or educational or social differences.
My people are terrified. We've been terrorized to the point that we're mentally and spiritually paralyzed. We suffered through centuries of dehumanization and degradation. It took the form of slavery and segregation in this land of the free, where oppression's government sanctioned. We're subjected to systemic skin color discrimination, from black codes to Jim Crow to black criminalization. It's been 400 years, it's time for our liberation. We're a nation within a nation, victims of colonization. Where's our revolution and Independence Day celebration? Cause what's the 4th of July to the slave on the plantation? And slavery didn't end, they just changed its implementation. Just check the 13th Amendment, then you'll see why so many black males end up as guilty defendants. The system isn't broken, it's working as it's intended. So I'm not here to fix it, I'm here to end it.
And then again, if we tell you that Negroes are being hung on the tree or being shot down illegally, unjustly, and those Negroes should do something to protect themselves, you say you're advocating violence.
I won't rest till this nightmare we're living in ends, and we see justice for our murdered young innocent men. If black lives really matter, black people need the proof. Cause we are the only ones responsible for our improvement. How can we leave it to someone else to do what's best for us, especially when there's someone else has historically been oppressing us? We can't use a system built to enslave us to free us, and we really sick if we think that they white Jesus can heal us. Our children need us to defend them, teach them and guide them, show them love and bring out the greatness that is deep inside them. Are we gonna build a nation or stay on the plantation? Keep begging for our freedom or fight for our liberation?
When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, he didn't say get nonviolent. He said praise the Lord, but pass the ammunition.
We must be willing to die together, or we'll definitely die separately. We desperately need unity if liberation is our destiny. If we don't know our history, then we doomed to repeat it. White supremacy is the enemy, but together we can defeat it. They stole us from the motherland, sold us into slavery, forced us to work for them. They got the nerve to call us lazy. In this caste system, we're outcasts, still treated as second class, but I can feel it in the air. Revolutions in the forecast. We came for greatness, but they don't want us to know. So they hid our history to keep us under control. All it takes is to take a stand. The enemy's not invincible, but we must come together as one nation, indivisible.
20 million black people don't even know their own language. Why? Because he took it away from them. 20 million black people who don't even know the history of their ancestors. Why? Because he took it away from them. And if you try and tell them how thoroughly and completely they've been robbed, he says you're teaching hate. That's something to think about. Today you are coming out of college. You're coming out of the leading university. You're trying to go in a good direction, but you don't know which direction to go in.
Yeah, that's right. You see the title. I had the title of this. Yes, we got to get into some things and get some straightening here. As far as like these upcoming midterms, everything, oh boy, the Democratic shills and these bootlicks are out here in full force, boy. Oh, they're panicking because, see, brothers and sisters, we reached a time now in black society where it's not the greater majority of us, but it's enough of us on code and actually paying attention to just how detrimental it has been to us to just blindly vote for Democrats or any party without economic tangibles attached to them and policies that benefit our people. We are in a time period now where, fortunately, the white supremacist power structure doesn't have any new plays to run against us. They've run out of new tricks, so the only thing we have to do is be well studied of the past and see how it correlates to the present. And once you begin to do that, you can start to affect change. So with that said, we're going to analyze a couple of things here. And boy, I'm going to tell y'all right now, let me go ahead and warn you. I will not be kind in my commentary about what I'm about to point out, because there has to be someone out here that calls things right down the middle as they are. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So with that being said, let's get into our first segment of this to analyze right here.
Roland made a really legitimate point here.
Y'all already know you fucked up when you just said Roland made a really good point. Yeah, the last king of chicken wings, pork chop, prime ribs, Martin. That's who she talking about. But yeah, let's let her continue.
Say, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear.
Pause. It is that. It is that when it comes to politics. See, first of all, let's get something straight. Black men don't feel anything we think. We actually use our brains. And on code, black women do too. On code, black women do. And that means that you don't just go along to get along. I've always said this to y'all many times. You already probably know what I'm about to say. If you wouldn't work for free, then damn well don't vote for free. Your vote is a business transaction that you always, not some of the time, not maybe, you always get something in exchange for your vote. Let's let her continue.
Roland's point that felt ignored, but you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women.
Right there. Let's go ahead and deal with all that bullshit that just came out her mouth. See, first and foremost, I'm going to start here because we got a lot to cover. It is no secret that I disagreed with a lot of the things that Brother Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace, was saying when it came to race, because that brother, he was trying to do good work in his own way as far as his dating and relationship advice from his standpoint, whether you agree or disagree with how he said things or what have you. He did mean well. He did. But when it came to his views on race and certain things he was saying about black folks on other podcasts that y'all might not have been aware of, because a lot of y'all caught on to the Brother Kevin Samuels when he blew up. You didn't really understand the space he came from regarding the black manosphere. It's a lot of controversial things over there. Not all the brothers, but a good many of them are black conservatives, and they idolize damn near the white manosphere. Not all, but a lot of them do. All you have to do is just do your research on a lot of those platforms. And a lot of those guys were Brother Kevin Samuels' friend. But to bring Brother Kevin Samuels' name up after he's dead, what does he have to do with any of this? That is very distasteful and tacky. And see, I know the reason why she did it, though. Kevin, it is no secret that he was a staunch conservative and a Republican. So when she brought that whole point up talking about, well, you feel oppressed, so you're going to go to the side. First of all, let's get something straight about black men on the political scene across the country. Just because some of us say we're not going to vote for free don't mean we're going to turn around and vote for the Republicans. Now, there is talk of that. I've heard plenty of people, some whom I respect, have made the comment talking about do a protest vote. I am staunchly against that. And I'm going to tell you why. It's an old saying. You teach people how to treat you. Just because we not going to vote Democrat doesn't mean we flip and go vote Republican if we're not getting tangibles. Because, see, the conservatives and the Republican Party, if you start doing that with them, the way they're going to see it is like, okay, well, you voted for Democrats all this time without nothing. So if you do your little protest vote, they're going to try to keep you locked into doing that permanently. I want y'all to really get that in your head when it comes to this protest vote idea. That is not a smart thing to do. You make these people break bread and economic policies. If they're not going to do that, tell the motherfuckers in either party to kick rocks. That's where that should stand. So the reason she keep on harping on about that, she knows that the greater majority of brothers that, route with Kevin Samuels or the Black Manosphere are conservatives. OK, I mean, and, some of them are sensible. And some of them, boy, they follow behind people like, Steven Crowder and your Ben Shapiro's and all the rest of these goofballs like that are alt-right affiliated. The list is too long to name. See, for me, as a black man, I have no business idolizing nobody in the dominant society, especially the men. I don't look up to Trump, Joe Biden, or none of them. My thing is, it ain't personal for me. It's business. It's about who's going to do something economically for my people and put us in an empowered state so we can protect ourselves. Don't go and shell out our taxpayer dollars to the Asians, the Jewish people, the Hispanics, okay, the Arab people. Then you throwing money all over here to Ukraine and Russia. No, don't be doing all of that. And then you gonna tell us that we can't get clean running water in Jackson, Mississippi, Flint, Michigan, Baltimore. We can't do nothing about the black homeless situation here across this country. No, don't come at me with that. You be a damn fool to sit up here as a black woman or a black man and sit up here and talking about you just get on board and get in line with some of the black women. See, listen, man. And when it comes to Brother Tariq Nasheed, let's deal with that too. Brother Tariq is an open book. Whether you like him or don't agree or disagree with what he's saying, one thing that you cannot deny is the brother is going to tell the truth. He's going to put the facts out there where you can go do your own research and point you in the direction of what's logical. That's what you do. It's not because, look, when it comes to anybody in new black media, Brother Tariq, Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, myself, Brother Philip Scott, we're not going to tell you to follow us. Don't follow us. We just bring you information and the truth and let you make up your own mind. And if you're about black first or being pro-black, you're about the empowerment and protection of your people overall. And you can't do that by blindly just voting Democrat. Because see, if you was to ask this airhead Tiffany Cross-Eyes right here, Tiffany, what have the Democrats done for black people in the last 50, 60 years? Huh? Why is our economic situation the way it is? Because don't even try to pull that we don't work hard. We work harder than anybody in this damn country. Are there things that we need to do within our community as far as practicing group economics? Sure. Yes, that definitely would be a game changer, but that's not going to solve all our problems overnight. You can't have us build this damn country and be the only group that's supposed to be shamed when we expect something in exchange for our votes. Every other group here does. Only black people are expected to just vote for free. You put everybody else ahead of you and you just look at everybody eating while you stand there with an empty damn plate. Nah. See, this woman right here and others like her that's in that damn talented 10 boule class, they think that representation means only a handful of black people are supposed to be doing good and the rest of us just look up and eat symbolism. You can't pay your bills with symbolism. You can't put food on your table with symbolism. Symbolism don't stop these race soldiers from hunting us down. Symbolism don't protect George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. Symbolism don't fix the water situation in Jackson, Mississippi. Nah, man. From now on, any party that comes to black people talking about a black vote better have proof of concept policy in hand, meaning that you better come with something that you've already started doing specifically for black people, not minorities, not any of these other trick bag terms. You're going to do something specifically for us if you're going to expect to get our vote in exchange. So all this goofy talk she got going on here, talking about just get in line, I'm going to say something a lot of you might not like. Go ahead and brace yourself. As black men, it is not our position to follow behind our women. We are the only group of men that these idiots right here come at and expect us to follow behind our women. If the women that are talking about us follow them, exhibit established and credible leadership from a place of good faith that intend to do things for our people, it wouldn't be a problem. But we don't see that. The greater majority of these black female politicians, whether they FBA or non-FBA, they get in a comfortable position and only take care of them. They don't do nothing for the damn community. Their greatest goal and achievement is to get up under some white ass and be hobnobbing with them, going to eat where they eat, vacation where they vacation. Them people get up there in DC and they forget all about their constituency and where they come from. If you are elected to public office, you are a public servant. You don't rule over us. We pay your salary. You do what we tell you to do. And they know what our agenda is. It's been presented several times. It's been presented in an organized way. Brother Ice Cube, even though he took parts of the contract with Black America from New Black Media, the point is he got the agenda out there. They know what that was. What did they do with that brother? They told him, the Democrats, well, we'll meet with you after the election. That meeting never took place. I will give credit where credit is due, and no idiots, nobody is a damn Republican. I'm not conservative or liberal, Democrat or Republican. I am speaking facts. At least Donald Trump sat down and met with the man. See, when you trying to get business done, you take your goddamn emotions out of it and you focus on getting the task at hand completed. When it comes to politics, you present your agenda to both sides and be like, okay, this is our agenda. This is what we want. Which one of you are willing to play ball? And after that, whichever one is willing to play ball with your people, that's who you go with. It's not about like. You don't have to like nobody. See, this woman and most off-code women like her are going off who they like, who make them feel comfortable. Symbolism don't get nothing done for our people. Go hand symbolism to the people in Jackson, Mississippi and see if they can drink that. This asinine stupidity coming out of her mouth. You don't see white men, definitely. You don't see Asian men, Hispanic men, or Arab men being told to get behind their women, especially if their women are doing something detrimental to the community. And it's not all sisters. Again, my hat is off to the on-code black women because, see, this is the big problem they about to have. Never mind black men for a minute. Your bread and butter all these years have been fooling our sisters and tickling their ears and telling them things they want to hear and getting symbolism going. And then they get nothing tangible in exchange while they see y'all asses up there prancing around like the ski-wee skank, Kamala Harris, and all the rest of them. So now sisters are starting to look at the hard math and be like, wait a minute, bitch. Every time I do this and vote for you, I don't get nothing. I have sons and daughters who I want to see in an economically stable future. So they're starting to rethink this. And I love it. Because, see, over here where we are, those of you that are in our Twitter spaces over here on the Black Grassroots, whether you in Brother Jason's Twitter space, Tariq's, okay, when the time I have to do them, when y'all in mine, you see what we're talking about. We're talking about getting things done, and we're actually doing it. And I got to give a shout out to the Security Tribe, the young brothers and sisters over there doing what they got to do, you know what I'm saying, in different areas around the country, linking up with other on-code black people. Shout out to the other young brothers like Afro Elite, okay, out here on the ground doing things. The younger generation, who I am so extremely proud of, even if they don't always get along, the main point is if we're operating in the best interest and empowerment of our people, that's all that counts. And see, they're afraid to even have conversations with us. We see them all online in Twitter spaces and stuff, but they never want to engage us in an intellectual discussion from a place of good faith. And if you think that you are worthy of leadership, then you're not afraid to discuss ideas with the people that you claim to want to lead. And before we get into the rest of this, I want to put this on your mind as we analyze this and go forward here. Family, do you really think that any person that claims to want your vote and claims to want to represent you, do you really think they deserve that vote if they're afraid to mention you specifically by name in public? Let that sit with you as we analyze the rest of what this buffoon had to say.
Already, like he said, said, vote Democrat. But that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
Now, before we get into the next segment of this, ask yourself this. This fool sit up here babbling about policies that hurt our people. What do you think the Democrats have been doing since Joe Biden has been in office? And on before that, especially upon the Barack Obama's ass. See, a person like this that'll sit up on a damn TV show that a white person put their goofy ass in to mislead the masses with a bunch of bullshit. She don't understand what it's like to be in a situation where she got to figure out how she gonna put food on her table with the cost of inflation, or how she gonna put gas in her car. For she don't understand what it's like to be in a situation where she got to pay for child care and medical insurance and figure out how you gonna balance all of that. None of these Democratic policies help our people, but yet we see illegal immigrants getting put up in luxury hotels when you got a city where it's homeless black people at that they don't even acknowledge exist. This woman has to be insane, man. See, this is the kind of shit right here that sisters with sense are getting tired of. And see, one of the things that I love that I'm seeing today more and more, when black men and black women who are on code come together and discuss common sense as a collective and what's best for us as a collective, not either one trying to get ahead of the other, that's when we're going to really start to get some things done here. So now, before we get into this next segment of what I want to analyze, it's actually something that I want you to pay attention to in conjunction with what you just heard here specifically. I want you to see what these people, the damn Democrats, do when they come around black people or who they choose to represent us, and look how they talk when it's time to talk to us about anything political. Let's get into this.
Chelsea follows rap music. She has ever since she was a little girl. But I kind of came to awareness of you with the Cardi B WAP. I've always wanted to do a song with Cardi. As soon as she sent me the song, I think I sent it back to her like the next day. And it was just so exciting. The men, they seem so confident in what they're saying, and they don't have no problem with talking about their sexuality and how they're going to have sex with you. So I was like, well, I could do that, and it's going to sound fire coming from a woman. It's great.
Now, before we analyze the rest of this, family, when you look at every other group of people in this country, white folks, Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, East Indians, do they go show me the equivalent of them going to talk to their entertainers when it's time to talk about politics? When do you ever see that? You name any entertainer out of any of those ethnic groups of people I just named. When do those people put their entertainers to speak for them and talk about entertainment when their people are in dire need of economic policies and policies that get justice for our people to protect us from these goddamn race soldiers? Because they're not in our situation, for one. But even if they were, do you think they would send a damn person like Meg Thee Stallion to talk about a song talking about some damn wet ass pussy instead of policy? And see, this is the other thing that pissed me off about these people, boy. Ladies, y'all better understand when y'all being insulted. Because for them to even do this, she too stupid. And yes, she's supposed to be college educated, but like I said earlier, there's a difference between being educated and being intelligent. There's a big difference between being educated and being intelligent. She too stupid to understand that, okay, you set up here this whole time because she's disconnected from what's going on in Black America. She don't even know what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi. I guarantee you that if you said Jalen Walker, she wouldn't even know who the hell that was. The black man that was shot 60 something times to death by these damn race soldiers. These damn airheads, at least if you're going to go and speak before for our people as an entertainer, understand what the hell going on with your people. But see, this idiot is so caught up in wet ass pussy, okay, and all this other goofy shit that she have going on. She don't understand nothing politically. And that's why the insult is they chose her to talk to. Listen to what Hillary Clinton said. I became aware of you. Do you hear the contempt in her voice when she said that? Because she looking at you like you little minstrel show, you niggers. I can't stand your black ass. The only reason I want to talk to you is because I know that me putting this image out, let me say it again, me putting this image out of talking to you makes it appear that I can stomach you Negroes long enough to get you to even consider voting for us and keep you on this damn Democratic plantation. And no, that don't mean go jump on the Republican plantation for the coons that happen to come across this. Let's continue analyzing this.
See women be so kind of fierce. That is my life's mission to make sure that I'm always unapologetically me.
Now, look, listen, man, listen. Ladies, let's get something straight. I know she don't represent all of y'all. But here's the problem. Even the ones of you that she doesn't represent, too many of you will sit silent and not call this out. Now, props to the sisters that I have seen lighting this motherfucker up for this. But it's not enough. We need that voice to be overwhelmingly loud. See, when we are talking about economic policies and things that benefit and protect our people, y'all got to step up and show these people that, no, don't you dare put a Meg Thee Stallion in front of us to represent us. And look how she looking. She got her head and her eyes down like a damn child. This is a nitwit. Understand that when they put her up there in that damn She-Hulk series or whatever, instead of her taking that opportunity to show that she could act and step outside of her entertainment on stage, that could have been her segue to being in a Marvel movie as a character. But see, I was saying, when you diminish and whittle yourself down to only your ass, then you think like an asshole. I don't like seeing our women being made fucking fools of. And that's exactly what this is. She's sitting up here and these Clintons are making a fool out of her ignorant ass, and she too stupid to even realize how she being used. See, this is how you know people like that don't have nobody around them that just play that back and be like, hey, you ain't never see how they played you with this? Y'all didn't talk about no policies, getting nothing done for black people. See, let's flip it this way. Watch this. For those of you that find what I said harsh, I'm finna show you something, right? You might not like it, but I'm finna give you a way to think about it that just might make you get what I'm saying if you don't like what I'm saying. Change Meg Thee Stallion into a little white woman. Let's say, so you get a clear visual. What's the little chick, the bad baby, Catch Me Outside? Put her in the place of Meg Thee Stallion. Okay? Now, let it be some black people talking to her. Some black politicians talking to her, and she talking about all that ignorant foolishness that she talk about. What do you think the response from white society would be? They would be irate. Like, don't you put this little ignorant heifer up here to represent us? We got serious business to take care of, and you put this up here? Man, they would raise hell, boy. You wouldn't find no trace of that online. They would raise so much hell about that. Because, see, they understand when it comes time to dealing with their people, it's all business. They see, it's cute to put the flunkies up here for black people and let them speak for us. We got to draw a strong line of demarcation and zero tolerance for that. We can't be the group that where you just put out minstrels and clown up and embarrass us when it's time to talk about business and we just accept that. She should be excoriated for that to the point that she never tries it again. And just like when they ran and got Cardi B to try to speak about politics or Nicki Minaj, first of all, they're not FBA, and no, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are not black people. No, they're not. No, they're not. No. Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. Because we gonna start enforcing that. These people been saying they wasn't black for the longest. And Cardi B is Hispanic. You gonna be what you are. We not playing this game no more where everybody want to be black when it's convenient. Nah, motherfucker, you not black. Especially if you're not gonna speak with any sense for black people, you can't speak for us. If you're not of us, don't try to speak for us. This image right here of them sitting here talking to this woman about this foolishness makes me sick. Nah, we don't need WAP, wet ass pussy. We need what about policies? That's what we need, just like the title of this damn video. What about policies? We in a critical phase of in the hour of our history right now. We ain't got time for to be playing. And see, it's up to us on the grassroots, because we have the power to make enough noise about this to the point that they won't ever try nothing like this again. See, family, understand something. It's a beautiful time to be alive as a black person in this country, because we are finally starting to wake up into our proper self-esteem as a collective. It's not all of us, but it's enough of us on code that are doing so. You don't ever let no president or presidential candidate sit up and tell you, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That should have been the end of that campaign right there. Kamala Harris telling us, I'm not going to only do something that benefits black people. Well, we ain't going to be able to only do something that benefit the Democratic Party. Because you damn sure been doing stuff that only benefits specific other groups, even people that are not legal citizens here. Putting illegal immigrants up in and luxury hotels and, oh, boy, they getting opportunities, man, that black people can't even get. And did a lot of y'all know during the time where they was enforcing the so-called, you know what, with the C word, they weren't forced to get the medical procedure. They weren't forced to get that. Did a lot of y'all know that? Since it was so important for everybody to get the medical procedure during the pandemic, why they didn't force them to get it? Family, what I'm saying is the point here, specifically dealing with this. Meg Thee Stallion has no business speaking up for us, because she's stuck in the mindset of a child. She should stay in an entertainer's place, since she don't have no more common sense to inform herself on issues when you speaking before politicians. See, do y'all think they would have had a conversation with this heifer if she got up here talking about reparations, if she got up here talking about punishing race soldiers? Hell, if you didn't even go there, how about you just bring up getting justice for Breonna Taylor? You ain't even asking nothing about that. No, it was all about me, my eye. You watch any man or woman that jump up talking about me, my eye, because we got a lot of these dudes in these spaces that act just like bitches. Yeah, I said it. Any dude that's sitting around talking about me, my eye all the time, you better watch these folks, because they're not concerned about us as a collective. We in this together, man. And see, this is one of the weaknesses that they have with a segment of our women. They put you in a spotlight and just focus on you. And before you know it, you ain't even thinking about nothing about the rest of your people. When has Meg Thee Stallion ever advocated for black people as a collective? Huh? Not just her, but any of these other entertainers and rappers. I'm talking about her because she's in this clip, but I apply this to male rappers too. Any of these entertainers. If you see these people not advocating for us, and then when they get before these politicians, that should be a personal insult, because you had an opportunity to speak up and represent for our people and put our agenda and needs on the table. But all you chose to talk about was me, my eye, and yourself. You can go 5 levels under hill with gasoline or gasoline thong on, as far as I'm concerned. Understand when you being played. Let's get into the next part of what we need to analyze.
We learn about the mayor every 4 years, but the most power in most people's lives is controlled by the governor. The governor is the most powerful job nobody understands. And because we have never had a black governor in the South since Reconstruction, we don't understand just how much power we are ceding to people.
Pause right there. Y'all know I was going to include Grimace in this, right? That's right. I said it. This motherfucker do look just like Grimace from the damn McDonald's franchise. She do. Grimace. Listen, Grimace. First things first. Let me tell y'all something here. I've seen a lot of people running around talking about Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams don't have no black male support here in Georgia. She don't have majority black support here. Them people that you see are handpicking are a bunch of tethers and handpicked Democratic shills. Don't nobody fuck with that woman like that, because she hadn't been doing nothing for people here in Georgia. And as you're going to see, we're going to show you who she's more concerned about doing things for other than black folks. But see, let me point something out to y'all, because a lot of y'all don't really understand how this state works in particular. A lot of y'all got fooled during the past presidential election talking about Georgia was flipped blue. I'm going to say this again, and I want y'all to pay close attention to me as I say this. Georgia is a red state. What happened in that election will never happen again. I'm going to leave it right there. Most of these white people are diehard Republicans, and they will go to their grave before they ever vote for a Democrat. That's what I want you to understand about that. And the greater majority of black people here, you know what I'm saying, for the ones that vote Democrat, when it comes to certain elections like the gubernatorial race, nah, man, that's not going to happen. She's not going to win that because she will have to come out and with policies that do things specifically for us. And Stacey Abrams have never done that here. Okay. The further point that a lot of y'all are missing, white women across the country, especially in the South, they are pissed off about what they call a half-breed behind closed doors, Kamala Harris being in the vice presidential spot before a white woman has. You better understand white women are pissed off about that. They always keep score. You better believe that. You thought the white man kept score. Oh, no, it's the white woman that's always keeping score. So that being said, do you really think down here in this racist redneck state of Georgia that these white women are going to support a black woman being governor of one of the prime and prized seats of white supremacy in the country, Georgia, before them? Y'all don't really understand, boy. See, you need, you know what? Y'all need to come down to Georgia, man, outside of Atlanta sometime and just pay attention to how these old white Susans down here, because you know Pastor Karen is a Susan stage, old white Susans down here move. You really think one of them is going to go vote for Stacey Abrams? You got to be out your damn mind. And moreover, Georgia would not rather be seen as the state that in all this time go and put a black governor, especially a woman, in the seat of the governorship. That's not going to happen, man. I'm telling y'all right now, this woman don't stand a snowball's chance in hell of being no damn governor. And I am not a Brian Kemp fan. But I'm not for putting another bootlicking puppet in place that's too afraid to even mention black people talking about being governor. How? When you can't even say black specifically. When people ask you about reparations, you talking about, no, you don't support that. Okay, well, fat fucker, we don't support your hamburger, no neck eating ass. We don't support you. Big back them as prime ribs. Yeah, I went there. I don't have to be respectful to people that are cutting our throats. Like this bootlicking maggot here. Let's let her continue talking with her foolishness.
Who do not see us as valuable parts of society. I know that if we solve the challenges of criminal justice reform, we are addressing years and years of disproportionate effect on black men.
Right there. And Charlemagne the Clown here with that punk. Don't even get me started on him. Do you ever notice something when they start talking about doing something for black people, specifically black men? It all come down to criminal justice reform. Everybody in black society, especially black men, are not no damn criminals. That's the only thing you see. Look, y'all got to understand the playbook that the Democrats have fed their little sock puppets out here, like say Stacey Abrams. When you go before us and everything is about criminal justice reform and you're not talking about no economic policies or program, or if you want to talk about criminal justice reform, don't go looking at us. Go looking at these damn race soldiers that's killing people like Jalen Walker and George Floyd. Start there. Rayshard Brooks. Start there. This woman ain't even mentioned Rayshard Brooks' name not one time down here about trying to get Atlanta's get justice for Rayshard Brooks as he got killed down here in Atlanta. She ain't saying nothing about trying to pressure Fonnie Willis to do the right thing in that case and charge them damn race soldiers. Fonnie Willis handed it off to a special prosecutor because she's funded by the police unions down here and let them drop the case. People made a huge mistake when they didn't reelect Paul Howard. I know it was some issues with Paul Howard, but he put some stiff charges on them. And that would have been a time to send a message down here in the South that we will lock you up for unnecessarily killing us like that. Stacey Abrams ain't even touched that. Criminal justice reform. You got to deal with the biggest goddamn criminals down here, these damn race soldiers. Don't always go looking at black men. Every black man ain't locked up down here. And mentioning Fonnie Willis, for you idiots down here that's supporting that foolishness she got going on, You throwing RICO charges at state RICO charges at all these rappers down here, but you ain't throwing no state RICO charges at all these white supremacist gangs down here, because we got plenty down here in Georgia. See, a lot of y'all that had never really heard about the dirty white boys and, you know, DSGB and all the rest of these white supremacist gangs down here outside, because a lot of y'all only know about the Klan. Because yes, let me dispel that other myth too. A lot of people talking about ain't no such thing as the Klan no more. That's bullshit. The Klan is still alive and well down here. But there are different offshoots of these white supremacist groups all over Georgia. They ain't throwing no state RICO charges at them. I agree. These rappers shouldn't be stupid enough to put their crimes in their lyrics. But how can you prove that, you know, the stuff that they talking about is stuff they actually did with no evidence? You can't just say, oh, he rapped about committing a crime, then you're going to put a RICO charge on him. Where's the evidence of that? That's going down the slippery slope right there for you idiots that's supporting that foolishness. If you believe in the First Amendment, you shouldn't be behind that. If you're going to lock them up, you need to have evidence outside of some damn lyrics. Although it's a dumb thing to do again, to go and commit crimes and talk about street business in these damn lyrics. But I digress. Let's listen to this babbling grimace moron right here.
Let's talk about those numbers. Although we're only 33% of the population, we are the majority of the incarceration. We are the majority of the unserved mental health issues. He believes that the way to solve the problems is to track, to target, and to incarcerate. That has never solved the problem. We have never punished our way to progress ever in America, and certainly not in Georgia.
Okay, so now y'all heard what she just said, because we ain't done with her by sight. You heard what she just said. She spent that whole time talking about criminal justice reform. Did you notice she ain't hear nothing talking about economic policies for black people or black men? She wasn't talking about nothing in the way of, like, you know, education grants, nothing. I want you to remember that now. I mean, I really want you to remember that, because see, what we're about to get into next is going to prove why this big no-neck heifer right here is not worthy of one black vote, not only in Georgia, but anywhere. She shouldn't be near anything political or anybody like her. Because see, this right here, what you're about to see, this is a grievous personal insult. I want y'all to pay attention.
Hola, my name is Stacey Abrams, and I would like to be your next governor in the great state of Georgia. I believe in all of Georgia. I believe that every young person should have a chance to go to a school that is fully funded, where everyone who wants to start a small business has the resources to do so, when everyone who graduates from our high schools can go to our colleges regardless of their documentation status. I want to invest in you and your future. I want to invest in your children, your families, your businesses, and all of us. But I need you to get out and vote. And even if you can't vote, you know someone who can speak up for you. I'm here today and I'll be there tomorrow with your help. So let's get it done.
Now, did you hear the market difference when she was before these damn Hispanic people, many of which out there in that crowd was illegal immigrants? They need to do like that prank where that dude rounded up a bunch of them and pretended like they was going to work on his house, and he drove their ass right up to the ICE damn office. Boy, that was hilarious. But you heard the market difference when she go to talk to these Hispanics. She was talking about allocation of resources, education. Oh, I want to invest in you. Oh, boy, she was talking all this tough talk about, you know, what she's going to do for them specifically. She didn't mention criminal justice reform for them. She wasn't talking to them in no abstract way. It wasn't no symbolism there. That was business. Understand that when these bastards and bastresses, in her case, handy snack bastresses, come before us talking about our vote, you better be addressing us just like you addressed that Hispanic crowd. You better be talking about what you're going to tangibly do for black people. And as I've said, with us, the price has gone up since you've been bullshitting us for so long. You can't just come and tell us what you're going to do. You better come to us with something you've already done. That's the line of demarcation we're going to have to set. That's why you will always see me support brothers like Marcel Greg Dixon. That brother was, out there riding for our people, man, trying to get things done. That's why they fear having a conversation with him when it comes to discussing political issues. Because I got to say it, man. That's really the first on code black candidate for any political office anywhere in the country that we've seen in like the last 40, 50 years. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Come from the grassroots, come from the soil, go and talk to the people, go and talk to new black media. So he finds out exactly what our interests are and what our agenda is and goes back to represent it. Whether you agree or disagree with everything he said or not, you can't deny that the brother is for his people. Big difference between him and Stacey Abrams and any other of these bootlicks that they put before us in the Democratic Party. That what you just saw was she out there speaking to that crowd of Hispanic people should piss you the fuck off every time you hear or see it. You play this back and let somebody look at that part of this damn presentation and ask them, why would you vote for Stacey Abrams when she don't never talk to a black crowd like that? When she get in front of us, it's a bunch of symbolism and have the nerve to start talking about entertainment. Because see, and her white puppet masters' minds, that's all they see black society as, is a bunch of big overgrown children. And that is true for a segment of our society. But for those of us on code that understand the situation that we in today, we're not playing them games. You're not going to get the black vote nowhere in this country for free. Big back to Ms. Prime Reels Abrams. She ain't done yet. I want y'all to listen to this. Hold on to your horses.
Do you believe that black people should receive reparations?
I believe African Americans and Native Americans are entitled to reparations.
Bitch, what? What did she say? You believe, first of all, who the hell is African Americans? That applies to Africans that immigrate over here. We're a foundation of black Americans. It's a bit different. There ain't nothing African about us. We have African descent, yes, but that was over 500 years now ago. We are a completely different ethnic group, and we are not going to be shamed out of claiming and representing that. That's first and foremost. But when it comes to talking about Native Americans getting things, y'all go look up the 1866 Indian treaties. These people still owe us money, man. A lot of the so-called 5 civilized tribes, they were enslaving our people. How you gonna lump them in with us when they owe us bread too? They already got their reparations with all them casinos and reservations. And I don't care what none of y'all say, oh, reservations ain't all that. That's their problem. They've already gotten compensated for that. And the greater majority of them are pretendians, $5 Indians, white people pretending to be Indians. See, this big old ham-neck piece of shit right here, the reason why she was told to go out and say that, look at her little beady eyes. First of all, that's the first thing about it. Just look at her. She ain't even a trustworthy looking person. You can tell that the Democrats fed her that talking point because she got the stuttering when it was asked of her. And then on top of that, that's white people's way of double dipping. Well, if y'all do get reparations, we'll just put the $5 Indians in there. That way we can backdoor it for the white people. Because that's going to be the first people that's going to keep trying to get in. That's going to be their main line to push, to keep trying to lump Native Americans in with us. No, we're not going for that. See, the reason why these people are terrified and irate with us, because they actually are looking at us like, how dare they have the audacity to go back and study exactly what happened during history and understand that when we try something, we got all the gates closed. You can't slip past those of us that are on code that understand exactly what happened to us and what we are due. So you're not going to sneak a bunch of white people in here claiming to be in. The Indians they talking about is people that look like Elizabeth Warren and a drop of Native American blood in these people. And her big ham head ass going to sit up here talking about we the only. No, we not. They've already been compensated. We have never been compensated for anything done to us from Jim Crow or slavery. And this is what is out here talking about she want our vote. This woman is twice the fool it take to be one. And see, this time, I'm going to tell you that point margin need to be so wide as far as come midterms or her losing that they'll have to pick somebody else. They'll have to pick somebody else. And don't even get me started on looking on this little old moist clown here. Because see, this guy, I remember they was getting on him a while back about his situation. And look, he can be identified as whatever you want to be. But that dude need to come on out, man. We can see that. Trying to grow a beard out. Is that zesty look you got on your face, buddy? We know what it is. But you come on out and be who you are, man. Same thing with Stacey Abrams. I went there. Yes, I did. But let's let her keep talking.
We are the two communities who were legally disenfranchised from the inception of this country. And we are the two communities who had legal structures that were put in place for such a long period of time that our ability.
No quarter slot mouth heifer. No, we wouldn't. Y'all see that little jukebox quarter slot she got? Boy, that little gap. Man, no, we not the only two communities. They didn't have Native American Crow. No. They didn't have them on the plantation. In fact, they were some plantation owners. These motherfuckers sided with the Confederacy. This is true history, well documented. What the fuck you mean we the only two disenfranchised community? No, we not. They fell in line with the white man. That's why their situation is the way it is today. See, you know something, family? Before we get further into this, I want y'all to stop and think about our situation in the world as foundational Black Americans. We are the only group that by and large have not thrown our lot in with the oppressor and just rolled over. The Native Americans started trying to marry them into their tribes. You see the same thing with Caribbean people, some, not all. Continental Africans, that speak for itself. Just look at how they mourning this damn queen. A lot of these people just have given up. With the exception of own code brothers and sisters like Julius Malema of the EFF. Those are the only ones that seem to still have that fighting spirit where they hadn't just said, well, if you can't beat them, join them. No, you're not going to ever join them. You're going to be subjugated under their feet. We stand out, and that's exactly why these people know that they can't just come to us and expect us to roll over like these other groups. See, for those of you in the tether class, because again, I am not talking about all continental Africans or Caribbeans. Let's make that clear. The tether class that come over here and kiss white ass and jump up talking about what we don't deserve and what we shouldn't have. You're not ever going to be treated like no white person. That's you at best saying that, okay, if I can't be treated as I'm deserved to be treated as a actual free person, you're accepting a pet status. You accepting the status of a damn cockroach. You got to scurry from under something and grab a crumb, then scurry back before you get squashed. And when I say squashed, I'm talking about situations like Botham Jean. I'm talking about situations where you run around talking about a cotta this and a cotta that, and then you get stabbed up like Christian Obumseli. Unfortunate situations like what happened to our brother Amadou Diallo. Okay? Y'all better stop and start thinking about what you're doing here. Now, if you want to accept cockroach status, go ahead and knock yourself out. Foundational Black Americans, by and large, are not on that. Let's let this maggot keep talking.
To achieve and access opportunity at a level that was commensurate with the rest of America was just not available.
As you're thinking about running for whatever office you decide eventually, is that going to be a part of your plan in regards to formulating what reparations could look like for us?
I think that we have to have a conversation about what reparations should look like, and that
the conversation that we're going to have about reparations is cut the damn check, you quarter slot mouth bastard. That's what we're going to have. That's the conversation we're going to have. You got money to throw around at all these other groups, but you want to come to us with a damn conversation. The time for the conversation is over with. We already know what it looked like and how reparations should be allocated. It's lineage based because we are the group that have suffered from slavery to Jim Crow on up until now. And it starts with cash payments. Anything else after that is an addition. The same thing that you did for the Jewish people, you finna get ready to do that for us, and we gonna be on your neck. And, well, in her case, she don't have a damn neck. But in the rest of you that do have necks, we gonna be on y'all until you cut that damn check. That's not going nowhere. And see, what they're terrified of is they already know, I got to call it like it is, that diehard, I'm gonna vote blue no matter who demographic, they're dying off. Generation X, millennials, and damn sure Gen Z ain't bought that bullshit. We the cut the check generation. You're going to have to come with them tangibles when you come our way. And you're going to have policies attached to them that benefit us, not no minorities and these other groups. We not going for that. You know, see, when I look at her, just her image, this big old chunky mammy image, They put her out here. That's not accidental. They did that deliberately because they know that that's what they want to represent us, and they think that that's going to appeal to us. Put the big, fat, chunky, sassy black woman out there talking at you instead of to you, and everybody just going to fall in line. They've been doing that since the plantation days. It's not going to work no more, Stacey. Let's let her keep talking.
Shouldn't be the domain of a single person. In part because I don't know enough to know what the answer is, but I should be.
If you don't know enough, as far as it comes to reparations, then you're not fit to lead us on anything, Stacey. You don't have people around you like Dr. Claude Anderson that you're at least consulting. Dr. Sandy Darity, you're not consulting him. We got plenty of people that can get you on the right track as far as what reparations would look like if you truly are and sincerely just don't know what they look like and you're not qualified. Why you not talking to the people that are qualified? She knows who these people are. See, we can't let these clowns like her get up here and play ignorant as if they don't know any better. She know. Let's let her keep talking.
A part of the conversation and part of convening those who can provide an answer, because this is a complex issue, and I think anyone who would.
No, it's not. It's not a complex issue at all, Stacey. You want to make it appear to be complex because it's not complex when you passing out money to Asians. It's not complex when you passing out money to Hispanics, Native Americans, illegal, undocumented immigrants, like she was talking about earlier in that presentation. The audacity of this heifer to want to give our hard-earned taxpayer dollars to illegal immigrants, people not even citizens of here. You want to put them over us. Never mind us needing our money for places like Jackson, Mississippi. Yes, I'm going to say it again because them brothers and sisters down there need federal and state aid to deal with that problem. As a taxpayer, that's what you pay your taxes for. Shout out to the On Code brothers and sisters like our brother Lee Coffey that's out there on the ground, and the brother Moses West doing what they can to help our people, because that's what we should do in times of crisis. But let's be clear. We pay taxes. The state and the federal government is supposed to work for us when we need it to. We are no different than any other group. We got to come out of this being shamed when we pay taxes just like them, everybody else. And then we supposed to be the only group that pay the taxes, but we don't get none of the services from paying the taxes. What the fuck do that make sense at? And then you see this heifer sitting up here with her little funny built ass up here talking about everything except for exactly what needs to be done in black society. This woman is not a fool. Let's be clear. She's playing a fool, but she's not a fool by any long shot. This is because you can tell she's been eating real good off them little Democrat peanut checks. She's somebody that only care about keep me in position where I can keep going to the buffet line. That's what she care about. Her, Roland Martin. And see, look at them. I'm going to go ahead and say this. A lot of y'all ain't going to like it. Most of these Democratic shills, man, the fattest ones are the ones that you should trust the least. Them the ones that's been eating real good. Oh, yeah, I went there with it. Yes, I did. When a fat, chunky motherfucker come running up to you and with the Democrats, that's you're like, nah, you been getting plenty of checks eating good. Yeah, I know you ain't trying to do nothing for me because you already big. You ain't trying to share nothing with nobody. Yeah, I went there. And I'm only talking about the Democratic shields. I ain't talking about all our big folks out there. I love y'all if y'all on code, man. But this creature right here, Big Batman's prime rib, is going to get that smoke. Hey, listen. Ain't nobody in Georgia finna vote for this woman. Boy, you think it's bad under Brian Kemp? Let this motherfucker get in there. Because, see, understand something. This is the same situation right here pertaining to Georgia. The gubernatorial race is the same situation as when the national election was taking place and you had Joe Biden and Trump. Everybody was thinking that Joe Biden was going to be the better choice. Nah, man, the lesser of two evils would have been Trump. And I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Trump, the reason why? Common sense. Trump did not have policies in place to economically harm black people. I don't give a damn whether he like us or not. He didn't have a track record of over 47 years worth of policies in place to harm black people like Joe Biden. So now, when you look at the situation with Brian Kemp, similar. Here's the thing with that. If Biden, because she ain't going to win. But if by some odd miracle they put this big pork chop neck heifer up here, man, they would really funnel a lot of stuff through to harm black people then and then blame it on her. See, y'all haven't figured out the con game yet. Let me tell you why you better not vote for Stacey Abrams or none of these black bootleg Democratic shills that's running for office. They put them in place over the white people, and then they will funnel in all types of harmful policies. And then when you look up and finally realize what's going on, well, see, that was that black governor Stacey Abrams that did that. And see, the reason why she don't give a damn, they've already paid her off. She gonna be straight no matter what she does to other black people. Y'all better understand that's exactly how serious it is with that talented Ted Boulay crowd. They do not give a fuck about the collective of black society as long as they living good. The same contempt that I have for these bootleg Pastor Pork Chop preachers is the same contempt that I have for these Democratic shield candidates and the Republican shield ones too. That don't do us no good if you get in a comfy position and then the rest of us don't get anything out the deal. Symbolism don't do none of us any good. You're going to have to come to the table with tangibles. That is the only way you will get black men to vote. That is the only way you will get black women to vote. That is the only way that you will get black people to even consider voting for you in the future on anything, no matter which party you in. And again, I'm telling y'all now that's talking about the protest vote. If you start out with them voting for nothing, just voting out of spite, they're going to try to keep you locked into that pattern. You will have nobody else but yourself to blame. Sit it out. Sit it out. If there's no black empowerment on the ballot, you sit it out. Your local elections are what matter, but as far as like the gubernatorial races and the national election, no. You don't give your vote away for free. Let's let her keep talking.
That it's simplistic as being disingenuous.
So now, you heard everything that she had to say. That's what she had to say. I'm going to tell y'all what we finna do, right? We going to close it out with what one of our very, very honorable and brave elder ancestor icons had to say about where we at now. And if you truly want to honor his legacy and his memory, we need to finish the work that he started right here. And I'm going to let him speak for himself.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we're coming to get our check.
Black first. Like, share, subscribe, family. Cut the check. See you all in future content. Celebrate the foundational Black American culture of freedom fighting and resistance with the first annual Arethusa 5K run. This cultural experience will honor our FBA ancestors and icons while harnessing energy from our past to power our future. There will be security at this event to ensure everyone has a safe and enjoyable experience. Arethusa Run is a cultural event for family and friends. Strollers and wheelchairs are welcome. The in-person event will include a free 1-mile fun walk and will be held on December 17th in Tampa, Florida. Unable to make the live event, you can also participate virtually anywhere from December 17th to December 30th. All registered participants will receive the official Arethusa Run finisher medal t-shirt, and more with the ability to upload their race time to the official site. Live event participants will receive the time race scores, professional finisher photo, video, and your name will be announced as you're welcomed across the finish line. Enjoy the post-race after party and refuel with a traditional FBA breakfast. You can also help us settle fun family debates like sugar or salt and grits. Prepare with family workouts and runs and post on social media using the hashtag #AretaSussayRun. For registered info and sponsorship opportunities, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Click the link in the bio. Hope to see you all there.